All right, now, like I said, don't get it twisted.
That felt so exhausting.
It still fuck them kids.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It still fuck them kids on mine.
Exactly. Listen, take your life back, parents. Take your life back.
Take it back from them kids.
Now, this shit ain't for the ones that's been
Them
taking
little
their
life snatchers.
them soul crushers. This ain't for the ones who already said fuck them kids long ago.
Yeah. If you already did it, fuck you. You're a deadbeat because hadn't nobody told you to.
You deadbeat bastards.
If you did it on your own, you just fucked up.
This
like
ain't
I
for
wait
you.
for the trend. Now it's fuck them kids.
That's right. This ain't for you.
So from this day forward, just listen to what Bionica about to say.
That's right. That's right. Take your life back, okay? You buying clothes, shoes, feed them. You're feeding them. You're doing everything in your power.
Feeding the shit out of them.
You know what I'm saying? Hungry bastards. You're going without. It's time for you to take your life back, one step at a time.
I'm tired of seeing y'all in parking lots demolishing Big Macs and shit because you don't want to feed your kids because you got to sneak and get a meal.
You're scared to eat good.
I'm tired of it. Walk in your house with that Big Mac and say, you know what? Fuck y'all.
Mm-hmm. It's hot dogs.
Don't do that.
It's hot dogs in there. And, you know, they can have a double meal. You put the hot dogs with the ramen noodles.
Yeah. Kids are creative. They come up with something. Y'all spoiling them. Y'all giving them what y'all eating crab legs with them. That's why the fuck y'all got to duck off and eat a Big Mac every other week.
Where was
Man, you know what? I'm going to tell you.
Times have changed.
My grandma used to cook some good shit. Not all the time. Sometimes she would cook some shit. When we come in the house, she would let us know that shit ain't for us.
Quickly.
And we knew that was grandma's personal day. Shit, we didn't fuck with her. God damn it, we found something to eat.
This was at her personal day. Quickly, you would know it is not for you. Now, I know a lot of people say there's memes going around talking about some of the kids should eat good, too. That's great. Kids, okay? On special occasions, it's time to take your life back, parents. It's time to take. There has to be something good about being an adult. We used to say, I can't wait to be an adult. Why? We don't get none of the perks. It's time to take your life back.
It used to feel like it was going to be some big fun being an adult.
Mm-hmm. Now look at you.
It didn't turn out that way.
No, now look at you. And then, like, they more expensive. You putting braids in your daughter's hair, $300 a pop. Back in the day, Keisha down the street did box braids, put them in her head, $45. But you got to buy the hair yourself. Still, it was cheaper. It was cheaper. I'm tired of this. Take your life back. And like I was telling Ron, you do one offense. If it's your first offense, CPS going to give you your kids back. No court date.
Yeah.
If it's your second, can't tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? No, actually, don't do this shit. Don't do this shit. This shit is not, we are not recommending that you say, fuck your kids. Please feed them. Take them to school. Keep them clean. Doctor's visits.
Especially keep them clean. You don't want them to get roasted at school.
That's true. Birthday parties, make sure they're vaccinated. Just whatever you need to do to make sure that they're safe. You know, haircuts.
How funny is it though that adults actually do like have to sneak off and like enjoy some real good food sometimes when it ain't in the budget for the 4 that's at home waiting on you.
See, this is what I think too, and this is I think this happens when you have like more than one after that. After that, it's like, you know, because I got to buy multiple. Things, right? So I haven't hit that yet. I haven't hit it. But I've seen shit. I done see my brother. I done put up at my brother like, what is going on? Like, what is going on?
What you in there doing?
Listen, this fool got Culvers and that motherfucker like thick ass juice. And I'm like, oh, he like, hey, dog. I'm like, I understand. I mean, I don't understand, but I understand. Do your thing. I see you in a minute. You know I ain't
had a gourmet burger in a long time, goddammit. Shit.
This fool said,
Kyle is 6.
You want some too? And food is expensive. So you think you go to Culver's, you get a meal or something. Like, you got to get it for multiple people. You up to like $30, $40.
Yeah.
At a burger joint. At a burger joint. Shit's crazy.
Every damn where for 3 or 4 people, you going to spend, oh my God.
Yeah. To eat good.
Even McDonald's, bro, on a Sunday, I ain't going to lie. On a motherfucking Sunday.
Tell us how you feel.
Look, if my girl get out a little early, if you're going to get out for 11, stop by McDonald's, give me a goddamn sauce and egg muffin meal.
Little muffin.
Now you get a couple of them motherfuckers, it's $20. Like, what the fuck?
Remember when them hoes used to be like $1, like $1.50,
Oh my
$2,
God.
shit like that? Yeah, like this is the madness. So yeah, sometimes if you gotta duck off, They said feed your kids. They didn't tell you what to feed them. If you got to duck off somewhere and get your meal on, go to the, you know what? But don't do it in front of the house. Like that shit. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Go to the park. And just eat your meal.
Yeah,
Watch
kick
the
your
birds.
shoes off. You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself. If you're going to hide, you know what I mean?
Use one of them apps on your phone or tablet or whatever. Watch a good movie.
Don't get caught in the park at the gas pump at Quick Trip. You can't live your life like that. You just can't.
That's a rush meal. And no one enjoys a rush meal. I don't care what you say. The food could be good. It's not as good as if you could take your time with it.
Yeah, your taste buds can't really process it.
True.
I done ate some food so fast it didn't get processed right. So I know it happened to everybody else.
And when you get up in age, baby, that food needs to process correctly. Or else you're in a whole heap of trouble. So yes.
Yeah, you're in trouble, man.
Yes. So very important, okay? Take some time out for yourself. And this is only for people who actually take care of their kids. Now, the meal shit, you can do that. The other shit we said before, please don't do that. We do not recommend that you do it, and do not give our name.
Yeah, we're going to have to put up like a little disclaimer.
Yes.
Like when the show starts, the views and opinions expressed by Bionica Brown and Ronald Bird are not necessarily.
And sorry, how unprofessional are we? Welcome to Urban Absurdity, guys. Hello.
Those of y'all that are still here, I hope we ain't run everybody out.
We calling the people now. My son is great. Mind your business.
This ain't the episode, bro. Let's go to the next. These niggas crazy.
I didn't know it was about this shit. No, welcome, guys. It's great to have you. As you can see, it's just 2 out of the 3 Musketeers.
I just noticed that.
Hey, when one of us go, we should have like a little stick news with our face on that bug. About, how do you feel?
How do you feel, Cortez? You know what, nigga?
That's it. Listen,
that's a good idea.
We doing that. Okay, so next time we get like, hey. I said that shit too. You know what I mean? Because we got to talk.
That would be funny as hell. Just paying to him like Cortez. Yeah. So how do you feel?
That shit get quiet. Yes. So
I said that nigga last night at the Improv.
Hey, that boy with his because you know they don't do shit else than bobbing. You know what? Yes, he's not here, but he'll be here next time. We are sorry, but you know the show must go on, so we can handle it. If you guys don't know, Ron and I started off doing this just alone anyway.
Man, back in what was that? 01?
Was it? No, that's when the album came out.
Oh yeah, that's when you was still rapping.
No, it was in 2018. We started in February. I remember because it was cold as shit. You know what I mean? So if you go back and listen to some of our old stuff. Very funny.
Oh man, we revealed some shit too.
Listen,
we had the Quincy Jones drama.
Oh yes, we did. We cracked that case.
Oh yeah, man, y'all got to go back. It's like if y'all like ID channel shit. Yeah. I mean, didn't nobody die? I mean, didn't nobody get murdered? A couple people did die. But
a few.
The subject matter was funny.
It was great. It was great. It was great stuff. We've touched on the R. Kelly case long before. Before. We touched on so many topics. Please go back and listen.
We didn't touch on R. Kelly just got locked up for touching on some topics.
But you know, it was in the works.
Yeah, it was coming.
We hit on it while it was in the works. It was
this nigga got a 20-year break in between his damn sentencing. So they got his ass now.
So I didn't know how long how long was it?
I hear it's a minimum of 10, and he's facing life, like up to life. He hasn't been sentenced yet, but he has been convicted. You
know what is crazy about court in that case? Like when you, or any case. So when you go to court and you go through your trial, and then like you get found guilty, like I don't want to have to come back weeks later or a month later to figure out how much time you giving me. Tell me now.
Yeah.
Tell me now. I think the delay is just, is the delay to, you can't tell me paperwork. You don't know what y'all was about to do to me. You can't tell me it's like the paperwork. Just, why do you wait? Or is it just the like anticipation of, like,
I have no idea. They always complain about taxpayer dollars. It would seem like less court dates would make more sense, but.
Like go back in the room and figure out my time now. You know what I mean? Like, guess what? You're guilty. But we about to go back in the room.
There gotta be some reason they wait. Maybe they weigh it out with other people or maybe the judge needs some time to ponder over it.
But sometimes the judge isn't the one who, like in certain cases where the judge is the one who makes that decision, yeah. But not in all cases the judge don't make the decision. They just hand down keep everything in order and hand down hand down the sentencing, the information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell me now. I wonder could you
let me know now, nigga.
I wonder could you request like if this shit goes left, I would like to know before I leave.
Nigga, if y'all find me guilty, tell me what I gotta do now, nigga. I ain't got time to be playing.
Like you got somewhere to be. I
ain't got time for this shit, bro.
I ain't got time. Shit, I got shit to do. Yeah.
I got hits to write. I'm starting to choir up in this motherfucker and all type of shit.
I already got some
take
people
me to
together.
my cell, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I got plans, big plans, and I need to know how long I got. I need to know how long I got to finish this shit out. That's what I want to know.
Building a studio on this motherfucker. Let me out.
All I need is egg cartons. You got empty egg cartons. All I ask you to donate. Which one am I going to? Which location? Don't worry about it. Just hold on. Hold on. No, I'm serious. I'd be like, shit. Tell me now, because I never understood that. Like I watch court TV, and it's interesting on big cases, like cases that you like. The guy who killed the lady got into the wrong Uber. She was drinking. And they sent her like, you know how they send you who's going to come get you. Mm-hmm. And she thought that was the person who was coming to get her. And she got up in that car, in the back of the car, and he had locked the door. So, you know, like you got child locks on that shit. Yeah. So he locked the door on her, like brutalized her, like really like bad. And then he ended up getting caught. I watched that trial and I was like, wow.
I can't watch full trials. You watched the whole trial?
Okay, so no, because I missed I missed like the first part. I got to the part like it was probably like half when they finally talked to the girlfriend who kind of she knew but she didn't know. Like she knew, and I could tell she did. You know how you just hanging out with somebody or whatever, or they coming over to your house, but you don't know where they been before. You know they acting weird. Yeah, but you ain't know where they been before. I believe her. I don't think she knew. But I got to that part, so it was like half of that shit. I mean, I knew he was going. I knew he was getting that time. Maybe the trial for when you know you gonna do it, when you know you gonna be found guilty. Maybe that shit is just like the time. Like you just want to know how much time. Because I knew R. Kelly was gonna get found guilty. Did you think he was gonna get found guilty?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the, I mean, obviously not just because the nigga was guilty. We knew that shit a long time ago. But just the way it was playing out, you know, when people run out of money, you run out of
resources. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you back to black, baby.
Yeah, he had been in there black. 2 years, so he back to a regular ass nigga. You in jail for the longest, and it's like they kept coming with this endless amount of fucking new charges, like all types of shit. I'm like, racketeering. I'm so stupid. Like the nigga was selling drugs. Like what the fuck? I didn't know the nigga had cocaine. I had to look this shit up. Like, what the fuck?
This who said, was he turning him into drug use?
This nigga R. Kelly put different stipulations on sex crimes. Like, they adding shit that I've never heard. And it, man, I'll say this. I don't wish any harm or time or anything that's undue to a person that they didn't do it. But if he's, I mean, we all know he's been doing some shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, like what they convicted. Like, it's just, man, the case has been going on so long. I'm not about to look and see what charges they really charge you with. But I just know, nigga, you done got away with so much. Yeah. I just can't even feel bad no more. It's just like overkill. You
know what? For people who say, and I've seen a lot of people say, well, what about the parents? Like, the parents should be charged too, right? I'm not saying anything against that. I just don't like people bringing up that fact because that's basically like saying, like, don't blame the person who did the shit. The parents shouldn't have let them do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody walking by and I try to take their purse and shit, blame the mama because how she was raised. Like, don't blame me for taking this lady's purse. Like,
they wouldn't add that to that. Like, what the hell does it have to do with where the parents are?
Yeah, like you have to, people understand, please understand, you have a personal responsibility to be a decent fucking person. Okay, I'm sorry that people feel like, and I'm not trying to say the parents shouldn't have their own issues or shouldn't have their own shit going on. I'm definitely not saying that, because for those who knew, in the industry, not just music, movies, all kind of shit, there have been parents that use their kids for money, for gain, and knew that their kids were going through bad shit. Shirley Temple was one of them. Oh gosh, the one. Oh, we should know we're in Kansas. The one who played as Dorothy.
some trivia. That's a tough one.
This should not be that hard. But her mother was one of them. Like, she talked about it before she died. Mm-hmm. Like, there are some parents who would do some real shitty ass shit to their kids just so they could stay rich or stay having some money. And I'm not trying to say that doesn't happen, because it does.
Yeah.
What I am saying, though, is you still got to be a decent fucking person. Mm-hmm. You still have to be a decent person. There is no way that I would say, even if I seen a 15-year-old boy and he looked older,
mm-hmm.
you're 15. Like, there should not be anything in you that says, let me try this out.
Yeah.
And if there is, you should recognize that shit and notice that shit isn't right. Mm-hmm. It's not right. Most of the times they say it's because it's done to you. And R. Kelly's brother said that they were molested too by their aunt and by other people. Mm-hmm. And I'm not denying that. I mean,
they should have molested each other. Don't put that shit on nobody else.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
That ain't PC to say, but man, look.
Well, they usually say.
There's a lot of excuses. I got to get this out real quick. Because just like what you just said, people keep saying, okay, well, let's talk about y'all uncles and y'all daddies and all this shit. I think it's kind of halfway making an excuse for R. Kelly. Like, yeah, we could talk about. Shit, let's talk about a motherfucker, but shit, we still gonna talk about this motherfucker getting locked the fuck up too.
Well, we can talk about Earl or Robert.
Nigga, let's talk about Robert, Earl, whoever the fuck is doing shit against kids. Like, that shit is not something to be just looked upon like, okay, he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
He gets this air of innocence and all that bullshit. Let's talk about your goddamn family members and shit. That's the reason why most of these motherfuckers be doing the shit anyway, because they know you automatically got a built-in, like, defense attorneys just always gonna fight for you in some kind of way. Well, every time big R. Kelly news hit, one of the popular things is, okay, well, what about you people who used to pick up the girls from school and shit?
I saw
You know what? Well, look, you know what? Let's get the camera footage, run it back, see who committed some crimes. Them too.
Yeah.
But why are you trying to excuse this motherfucker?
And then had the motherfuckers who was posting, especially the dudes. You are the motherfuckers up at the high school still picking up younger chicks. That is you now. That is your. You have changed places.
Exactly.
Most of y'all do shit like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying I totally agree. I don't think that I just brought up the him being abused when he was younger, because they do say that most children who are abused, not most, I can't say it. Let me take that back because I don't know numbers. But they say that a lot of people who are abused as a child end up growing up doing the same thing. And it's a mental issue. And it's help that you need, you know what I mean? To mentally to at least try to stop from doing that, because not everyone does. But you have to get that type of help. And I'm just like, dude, you got all this money. You had all this money. So you can't say, like you said with excuses. You can't say completely like you had no outlet or there was nothing. There was nothing that you could fucking do. You know, like you are abusing other people who will go and abuse other people, and it's just a fucking cycle of people doing shit. And then people who are excusing it, you would not fucking feel that way if it was your kid. I don't give a fuck. You would not feel that way if it was your kid. You would not. You would be like, where the parent, bitch? Where was you at? At work, probably. Okay, well, where was you? Like, you can't just excuse the actions of a fucked up individual because of circumstances. Because of, again, like you said, if the parents or whoever else allowed it, then they should go too. Yeah. But let's keep it real. R. Kelly was the one who did this shit.
Exactly. He's the one that's guilty. Hey, last week when all three of us were here and we were talking about some of the things that we did when we were young, and Cortez was sitting there like, y'all was doing all that shit. Like, I couldn't go nowhere. I could name 1,000,000 times do I just snuck off and did some shit I wasn't supposed to be doing. That don't mean your motherfucking parents ain't shit. It means that you fucking, I mean, the child ain't shit. I wasn't shit in the moment. And that hour that I was doing something that I ain't had no business doing, I wasn't shit. It ain't got nothing to do with my grandma, my mama, my fucking upbringing. You shouldn't arrest them because I went and smoked some goddamn weed and drank a beer. You know what I mean? It's like you can find time to fuck up. But people just, like I said, so that's one of the things that make me think that they just defending the celebrity, because it's like it's obvious that your parents can't be with you 24/7. Now, if it's some evidence that like parents are literally like knowing about this, the hell yeah, lock their ass up too with him though.
Because if it was a regular person from your hood who did something, or from your location, wherever you are, who did something, and you read about that shit, you wouldn't be like, well, where were their parents? You'd be like, lock his ass up, or lock her ass up, because let's keep it real. Women abuse children too, And for it's crazy when I see people who say protect your daughters, protect your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Boys get molested, boys get raped, and just as much as girls do, whether you're willing to believe it or not. It fucking happens. If I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable or it makes you feel like you know, like, no, yes, it does. And the thing is, because they know a lot of boys are not going to tell. A lot of boys are not going to say anything because it messes with their ego, their pride, and their masculinity.
Yeah.
So a lot of men are not going to tell as much as women would. Well, not all women tell, but I'm just saying they're more likely to tell than boys do. So watch your kids. I paid attention to everybody who was like defending the shit. Like, yeah, I can't, fuck with that shit. Like, you would not be one of those type of people my kid would be around because you are an enabler for whatever. That's the type of shit that I used to hear. Like, what goes on in this house stays in this house. That's so dangerous. That's dangerous to me to say that, because then you feel like I have to take whatever's going on in this house. I'm not talking about when your grandma or your mama whooped you or some shit like, and she said, don't be running your motherfucking mouth up to that schoolhouse. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that shit. But I am saying if there is something like you getting beat or you getting abused, and then you hear black people like, what goes on in this house stays in this house, or know uncle or whoever else do some fucked up shit, you ain't telling nobody. You just is wrong.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's a level to that. Like, everybody had every black family, had that rule, but it can't go past no unhealthy ass fucking crazy shit going on, nigga. This shit's coming out this house. Believe that.
So that part I do.
Along with me, nigga, I'm out this motherfucker too.
I think he can't stay in this.
I ain't staying here then, goddamn. If it gotta stay, I'm gone.
This mess. You going to go get that stick you put on carrying your clothes and that motherfucker.
I can deal with the whoopings and shit, goddamn. I can deal with the discipline, but ain't nobody gonna be touching me in this motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now.
Listen, you gonna keep your motherfucking ass?
I swear to God, nigga. Yeah. I'll kill y'all.
No, but we are not. No, seriously. We know that shit does happen. And it's like, you cannot, it's dangerous to tell a person that, like, to not have a fucking outlet, because those are most of the people who end up doing the shit to somebody else. So, neither here nor there. R. Kelly, I get that Harvey Weinstein and all these other people are out here, and it's like, why haven't they? And I totally agree. But let's wake up, America, Black America. Remember, whether you want to sit up here and say that shit or not, we know what we are dealing with. We know what country we live in. We know what the fuck happens. Yeah. And they do too. All of them do too. They understand what country we live in, what happens. But just because you have a little money and you feel like you're not black no more, or you got a little bit of push and pull, like you'll never be them. You'll never be them. The justice system ain't it's gonna get you before it gets them. And that's the way it is. So
it's gonna make an example out of your ass.
Yeah, you are the example, and you gotta know that. Again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't get. They should definitely get it. But I'm just saying, realistically, reality wise, we know where we stay. Let's not act like we don't. So, clink clink. Maybe there will be hits made. And songs sent to somebody else. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can make, but I guess he could still make money like that. You could write songs and send them to people.
He's gonna be a ghostwriter. Ain't nobody gonna want no damn R. Kelly track right now.
No, some people are still supporting him. He has a ton of supporters, even famous supporters. He has a ton of supporters. Man, I was shocked myself.
I was about to say that kind of shocks me, because it ain't no way I can align.
Listen,
look. How you felt after you saw that tape or whatever the fuck, how you felt right then, because he didn't have a conviction, like, that's up in the air. But now that there is a conviction, like, that shit should be even more, because, like, I'm going to go out on a limb right here and I'm going to tell y'all something. R. Kelly, in his prime and all his music, I know the nigga couldn't, catalog is dope. But it got weird for me listening to this nigga's music after that motherfucking tape. And I feel like I'm the only motherfucker. Everybody else was like, I still listen to it. It's like, if I'm at a barbecue, I never personally played. It wasn't on my list no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I might be the only person, but it just got weird. Like, bro, this dude is nasty.
Yeah.
We all saw that. We all knew that. So I just got a different take on it. I just think, it don't matter if you're famous or not. Once you do shit like that, it's just like, it's weird for me to fuck with you. I wouldn't even, like a friend or anything, you see a tape like that, you can't be my friend. Because I see you on some weird shit. Like, that shit ain't, like, nah.
Yeah, that shit's odd.
Yeah, we get you then.
Yeah. So feel what way you feel. That is just our opinion.
Yeah, we just do some serious shit out there.
That's our opinion of the situation. So
in the past couple of weeks, though, I've been seeing some flashbacks. some history coming about. And one of the good ones is one thing that's coming back from not our childhood, but at least our teen years. Man, you know what? One thing I didn't know about, and two that I do, so I'm going to ask you about the first one because I think you were part of that generation and I wasn't. A couple of weeks ago, I saw a whole lot of hoopla. I woke up and it was, I guess, a Blue's Clues guy was did some video.
Yes, I thought
could you tell me about it?
About this. Okay.
Not on this show. You been doing other podcasts?
No. But
what did he tell y'all?
Invite me if you want to for a girls podcast. Sometimes you just need ladies to talk to. No, so I will be honest. Blue's Clues was it wasn't necessarily my generation. Mm-hmm. My generation was more of like Lamb Chop or Gumby or Barney. Okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sesame Street, of course, everybody has Sesame Street. But yeah, but it wasn't. But I will be honest. I did watch Blue's Clues sometimes. Because I would watch Nickelodeon when I would get ready for school. You know what I mean? Like, everybody watched Nickelodeon. We watched Nickelodeon in the morning, and we watched, if you had cable, we watched Nickelodeon in the morning, and then when you got home from school, Nickelodeon was the shit. Mm-hmm. So, and I was in elementary school at this time, too. But, so, Steve was the original Blue's Clues dude, right? And I cannot remember exactly what happened, so do not quote me, people. But I remember one day, you turned on Blue's Clues, and Steve was going to college. So there was no, mind you, Blue's Clues started getting hyped. Like, Blue's Clues got, like it is now. Like, it got major play. Mm-hmm. So one day we turned it on, and it was like, Steve's brother is here. Mm-hmm. We like, who? So, you know, it wasn't like a gearing up to it. It was just like, he about to go. He was going to college. So that was for, especially for younger kids, that shit was kind of devastating, right? Because you think it's kind of like whatever favorite show you like, if they snatched out your favorite character and replaced them with somebody else, you it's going to take you a while to adjust, and you may not even like it after that, right? Okay. So that's what happened, and then of course the brother was there, and then they kind of kept getting new people after that. But since Steve was the original, and he was there for a long time, it hurt, you know, like people was hurting. So I seen memes that they were talking about, and I'm like, what are they talking about? So I went there on Twitter and saw it. So he made like a little video and basically talking about when he left. But it wasn't just talking about when he left. It was more of like, you know, due to COVID and everything that's happened, it was like the mental shit that people are dealing with, right? Like, this world is crazy now. Everybody's kind of like depressed. They're just not feeling themselves and da-da-da-da-da. And he kind of tied into like how he just left out of like how devastating it may have been to people or whatever.
Did he say why?
No, he didn't go into why. But he went into how it was like kind of tough for him too. He went into it, but like how he would talk if he was Steve, not like him being himself. But how he would talk if he was Steve. Like how he used to talk on Blue's Clues. Like how, but as if you were having a conversation with grown-ups about the shit, right? So he was just like, you know, like you're doing good. Even if you do bad, you're still doing good. The same way like you would talk to kids if they were, but just grown-ups. And then he was like something like, you look good, by the way. Like telling everybody they look great. So it's kind of, I guess it was kind of like, if you grow up with something for so long, and then you have somebody come back to tell you, like, you know, I was growing up with y'all too. Like I was living life and going through stuff with y'all too. Yeah. So everybody was like, damn, like that shit crazy. Like it made, you know, it made people feel good. And it was one of those things like, if you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't. Like I didn't understand what I got what people were saying when they like, shit, that made me like, it hit home because it did hit home. If you were like really going through mental shit, it may have not solved your problems. Ain't nobody saying like it solved how you felt. Yeah. But it felt good, one, to see an old face. It felt good to hear that you having issues, grown up issues too, like shit changed for you too. You know what I mean? And just a little bit of encouragement. And it wasn't even that long. It was like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. It was not. It wasn't enough for like the negative shit that people were saying. Like people was like, why y'all was even watching this shit and y'all was even doing this and I'd just be like, you negative Nancy. See, this is the reason why the earth is the way that it is now. If you didn't get it, fuck it, skip over it. If you got it and it touched you, let that shit fucking touch you. I watched that shit. It hit me. Did it? Yeah. Because
did you cry?
I did not cry. I was close. I was close because I did hear, and I could be wrong. I heard that he left like he didn't just want to leave, like he had to leave because I don't know if he had marijuana on him or he had something like during the time of the show. But
so he started thugging it.
Not during the show. You know, white people been smoking weed. You know, they just ain't got in trouble for it. But like no, so I heard that that's what it was. Now I can't confirm. I don't know, but yeah. I remember hearing something about he got caught with something that wasn't in line with family TV.
Okay. And
they had to get rid of him. But it was the point of y'all didn't like put this over a week. Y'all didn't put this over. It was just like you gone. Mm-hmm. And it's not like he a Muppet, like he Elmo, where you could just change the hand. Mm-hmm. Like you see, this dude, we watching him. We watching this dude. So it was like for kids or people who just love the show, that shit was like, wow, like that's crazy. So
see, I didn't know because I wasn't like I said, it's not my generation. Yeah. I'm like hella old, so I never got on it. So I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, you was watching like Electric Company. like Schoolhouse Rock.
Man.
Was you Schoolhouse Rock?
I was about to say, I don't know what the hell. I gotta figure out what the hell was my top 5 in my generation.
Let me see. Wait. Yeah, I don't think you were Schoolhouse Rock. Anyway, you had yours.
Yeah, I was about to say I was just the classic Sesame Street guy though. I didn't branch off it to like I was into like the He-Mans and the, you know what I mean, stuff like that.
No, like, you had Schoolhouse Rock. You did. I keep
Schoolhouse Rock. I don't remember that.
I keep forgetting your age is around my auntie's and my cousin's age. So yeah, you had school. You don't remember Schoolhouse Rock?
No, I really don't.
Oh God, that boy said I ain't watching no after school specials.
Yeah, and
give me He-Man.
I was a Voltron, the He-Man, and the Thundercats kind of guy. Like I like a good aggressive action cartoons. Like that's where I was with it.
That was a Panther.
It might sound weird, but like the learning aspects of the Sesame Street and stuff, it got like kind of corny to me early. Like,
oh, listen.
I mean, of course I still love learning, but I was like, I'm too over this shit. I don't want to be taught my ABCs and shit. I'm going here.
We did it for
watch Voltron.
We did it for the jams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me tell you.
For the jams?
Yeah, let me tell you this though. Elmo got this letter.
So the soundtrack was dope.
The tracks were dope. But Elmo got this letter today song, and Kai was listening to it. I had to go back in the room like, what? She hot. Hey, listen, check out Elmo's letter today. And sometimes they mix it up. I said, this mug on Fridays. God be like, you ready? Oh, yeah. Let me know when it come on, son, if I'm going to get you.
It seems like these days, though, the kids got so many goddamn options. Yeah. Man, it was like, boy.
Yeah, we didn't have, that's what I'm saying, so many options. Like, a good thing and a bad thing. But they have so many options for so many things. We knew our set. We knew what we had. But they, oh gosh, they could do. And then they got multiple channels.
Yeah.
You can watch whatever. They got a new Rugrats.
Oh
they like Clay or something, like Doughy.
I was about to say they reintroducing everything though to the kids now because they can push it to them. Like, man, when you were young, it came down to whether if you had cable or you didn't. Some people, their whole life was like, PBS we had kids. Different lifestyles because I didn't have cable, nigga.
Listen, no cable was PBS Kids. If you didn't have cable, you knew the whole lineup. You knew Arthur, you knew Clifford, you knew the lineup of PBS Kids, which was cool with me. The puzzle place that had Ghost Rider on that mug. Like I used to like PBS Kids, but and then you had like 62 for us. That was in this area. We had 62, but if you had cable, you had like. I remember when Disney and Nickelodeon was funking with each other. I remember they was funking with each other, especially like the young teen shows and shit. It was trying to figure out who was better because at first Disney was popping. Then Nickelodeon started to pull up on them, and I'm like, oh, look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, kids have way more options. But the thing is, though, Sesame Street, they still running.
Yeah.
Sesame Street is still running.
Hell yeah, it ain't going nowhere. It's like a damn institution.
Listen, they go Sesame Street in space. Them niggas are not going nowhere. Shout out to Sesame for teaching me everything that you taught me. For letting me feel good about my neighborhood, my street, even though it wasn't the best. It was still like your street. So enjoy your street. Yeah. Oscar the Grouch made you feel okay about the like little crazy bum dude on the street. You know what I mean? Don't treat him bad.
Yeah.
Don't treat him bad because you don't know what he's going through. Look at Oscar.
You know what he's going through.
Look at Oscar.
Look at Oscar's a lovable grouch.
He just want to be
just like that nigga.
We got it, boy. You and Oscar. Because then Oscar just want to be left alone. So you do to leave that man alone.
Yeah.
If he said hey to you, hey. But if he didn't, leave that man alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can live by them rules.
Yeah. So shout out to Sesame Street for teaching us things in multiple ways.
Yeah. And
tell me this. What has come back? What has been a remake, reboot?
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do not.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Show. I don't care if it's a cartoon. I don't care if it's a movie.
You really gonna do this?
Yes, I am. What show? What TV? It could be anything. A fucking shoe, other than Jordan's. Okay, niggas. Listen, they need to contact Jordan, figure out how he keep renewing this shit. This shit keep selling. That's what you need to do, because he just sold the same shoe about a good 10, 20 rounds, and they still buying them.
Still dropping them.
However, name something that has come back hard, or at least the same. That has lasted. That has been just amazing. What's the show? What show you got that came back?
That was too broad of a question, though.
No, definitely not. What? Trash.
How the hell you gonna say it's trash? They got a new one out.
Listen, let me tell you this. Halloween is my favorite movie. Halloween is like top.
How you gonna say it's trash?
Listen though, Halloween is my favorite movie. Top. Okay. Top favorite movie. Period.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
So
you like that old school shit?
I literally watched, and that was before me.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched that shit before I came. Halloween was scary movies were good because shit, it was a nigga trying to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a nigga trying to kill you, and it didn't need all that extra. A motherfucker could fly, or a person could shit, like, even though
you
Freddie
could walk
came
casually and still catch your motherfucking ass.
This
motherfucker never breaks stride.
Listen, except for Freddie.
Stop getting slushy, like all kind of shit.
Listen, Freddie changed the game though, because when Freddie was running, I said, "Oh, they make one that run like this. Like he runs." And then he was funny too. Freddie was kind of funny.
Yeah, hell yeah. Freddie was gangster.
Funny.
He was a gangster. Jason, we was just talking about these movies the other day.
Yeah.
Tasha was like, my girl was like, they don't make Jason movies because they went too far and they just couldn't come back. When they went to space and hell and all that shit, like Jason lost all credibility.
Yeah.
Michael Myers still has all of his credibility. You could critique the writing and all of that shit, but when Michael Myers hit the screen, people are going to go watch that shit. Yeah. Just because of the chase element. You know that this motherfucker is going to be on somebody's ass from the beginning to the end or until you kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Terminator-ass type thing, but can't even bring Terminator back. Michael Myers is one of the only movies that you can keep making and people will keep going.
Yeah.
I don't even think you can't bring Freddy Krueger back. I don't give a fuck how hard you try, how good the script is. We're not going to accept Freddy Krueger. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, because everybody knows Wes Craven did the best. Like, it wasn't, you can't, like, you and Robert Englund playing him. Like, you can't, there's just certain shit that should not be touched. Mm-hmm. And I stick by that.
I mean, but that's still crazy, though, because that's unique to each of these movies. Like, Michael Myers and Jason and all that, but they lost that element, though. Like, they can't come back. Michael could keep fucking coming back. We know what the fuck gonna happen. They gonna cut the nigga head off, nigga. She coming right back. You know what I mean? It don't matter. Like, you could keep rewriting the movie, and people will still be interested.
I think you can write it as long as Jamie Lee Curtis is alive. I think after Jamie Lee Curtis dies, I think the movie dies with it. I think the reason I do. I think the reason why the shit is successful, a lot of it is because if you go back and look at the other ones, because like two was okay. It wasn't all that great. 2 was okay. 3 and 4, trash, right? It didn't have her. Like, most of the Halloweens that came back that were decent had her in it. Mm-hmm. It had her in it. And because it was like, okay, well, familiar face. Mm-hmm. This one, I seen the new one. I mean, I seen previews of the new one, and that motherfucker looked good. Mm-hmm. But it also looks good because
did look good.
But it also looks good because storyline, everybody who survived is in that motherfucker. And if you watch it from the beginning, not just like actually love the shit from the beginning, because Halloween 1978 was like, people have to understand these motherfuckers had no budget. I done talked about this on this show a lot, but that's my movie. They had no budget. They were like literally shaking the leaves to make it look like fall in that mug. Like somebody was up there with a bag shaking that shit. Like for you to make a movie like that, and that should be dope. And one of the most sold out movies ever in the United States and even in other countries. Like that's crazy. So it was the difference of the like how horror movies were being made. Yeah. Just the difference. So certain stuff rings out to you. This will ring out to you because he's coming back. But also people who survived is in that mug. So you really want to know how this shit's gonna turn out. It's just I agree with how something is made makes the difference. But I also agree that certain shit should not just be redone. Certain stuff you just have to.
So was Halloween one of those movies before you saw the most recent preview? We had this conversation like, should they redo it? What would have been your answer? Yes or no to Halloween?
I don't think they. I think after part 2 didn't go well like that. I think they should have left one as a classic too.
But how many Halloweens is it? Like, goddamn it,
like 20 of them hoes. I mean, I don't know if it's 20.
And you talking about they should have stopped at 2? You really haven't enjoyed the Halloween?
I promise. No. I have not. And I'm not just saying.
We're going to have to have a movie watch marathon. We are going to have to watch
and
this
I'm not
shit.
Just
all
saying,
of them.
I'm not just saying that because of part 1. The point is, you have to be a really good writer to tie some shit into something. Like, if you watch just action movies and that's what you like, then that's cool. But I don't just watch action movies. Like, I like movies with a plot. I like movies with a thought-out process. Like, Identity was a dope-ass movie. Identity was dope because just the how you had to process this shit. Because scary movies have to have something. It can't just be, if it's a scary movie that's just somebody just going around killing people. It's like, it's just, okay, whatever.
Sometimes that's fun, though. I just watched the movie Prey. I made a comment about it on Facebook the other day.
I watched it after you told me.
And, like, they did have this little part to where they somewhat showed a video and explained why she's doing what she was doing. But up until that part, it's just like, it's kind of exhilarating to see somebody doing that. Because you don't know why. It's just like a feeling of, okay, why is she doing this? Yeah. And then the terror of some fucking strangers is like, I don't know. It's like, that's the only way you can scare me now. I don't really get scared. I kind of like get exhilarated. Because trying to scare me, it's like a lot of the movies don't succeed. The loud music, I be seeing shit before it even come and like kind of spoil it for myself. But those type of movies, a good chase that could keep you into it and you don't know why, and some mystery hitting you, like, that's more where I am.
But I wouldn't consider, I fell asleep on Prey. I wouldn't consider Prey a horror movie, though. I would consider Prey more like a suspense thriller type movie, right? Yeah. So that's one right there. That's a difference. A difference between horror and thriller and suspense. Like that was more like, I'm trying to figure out why this shit is happening, right? Which is what I'm like, why are somebody shooting at them? But then it was like, shit, come on, show something. Like, I'm okay. Like, great, these niggas are getting shot at, but come on. Like, let's, like, I just felt like something I'm telling you, that's with the plot. And that's just me. Doesn't mean everybody else has to like it. Yeah. But I'm like, there has to be a reason. Like, there has to be something in here that keeps you interested. And it's like a good story along with some slashing. That keeps
a little slash, and they never hurt nobody.
Exactly.
Except them.
Yeah, this shit good. This shit good right here, and you know why he did it.
He over here really stabbing a motherfucker.
You know what? If I saw a scary dude, I'll watch this shit. I'll be like, see, he bad. They owe him money. He want it back. Like, we should do a movie over an old Spades game. He coming back.
Oh my God.
He coming back because he lost and he still want revenge over the niggas who gave him bad books.
You know what? That'd be a good script. I think we need to write that.
Like, listen, take that. Listen, we can do a script on that. Take that shit out because that's pretty good. But no, I do. I think there has to be something. The only movies that can scare me now are like, first of all, it has to be like a true story. I like true story movies.
Yeah, that kind of helps.
Yeah, paranormal movies. Because I'm telling you, the scariest movie that still rings true, me and my brother was talking about it just like 2 days ago, is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. That shit was crazy. That is still my top. Like, I could watch that movie and know everything that happens in that mug and still be like, let me turn on the light. And I'm not like that. But, yeah, that
See, that's where I'm lost right now. I'm at the point in my life where I guess I'm just too old for the bullshit, I guess. I've psychologically tuned out horror. Yeah. I can watch anything and I won't have to turn the lights on. And less than 10 years ago, I was that dude. Yeah. Living by myself, I watch some shit too scary, I need a light on this motherfucker. Now I feel my way in the dark. I go watch the whole marathon. It's just like, I don't know, I've just kind of ruined it for myself. Like, I've displaced, like, this could never happen. Like, the way, like, paranormal movies, I don't, like, that one don't get to me. Yeah. I don't know why. They used to when they first, like, came out, and it was like, oh, shit. But it's like, maybe the spoof had something to do with it, too. Yeah. Now I can't take anything seriously.
I honestly think that you would have had to, that if you are that type of person, that you would have had to go through something to know that shit is not a game. Like, that shit is not. My grandmother told me not to do something once, and I did it, and it did not turn out well. And,
no shit.
And my grandmother had to. My grandmother's Creole, so my grandmother had to go in and change some things. However, I say that to say
change some things. This sounds like the beginning of a goddamn horror movie. What the hell? My grandma had to go in and change. Some things.
Literally, if you have grandparents and your grandparents have old roots,
is grandma here now? Like, what are you?
No, my grandma, she passed away.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm sorry.
But thank you. But yeah, if you have grandparents with old Southern roots, especially like roots like that, I'm pretty sure y'all understand what I'm saying, and I don't even understand it to the depth of that. So that's why I understand. I feel like movies like that it is dangerous to watch them because you have to understand too. If there's a good, there's an evil, right? If there's sometimes like we used to have to watch what we say because sometimes it was like you could open doors to things and you don't even know. Like even things bad stuff that happens into your life. Like sometimes you think more into it. Like if we heard somebody, like if we heard a knock or you heard somebody calling you, we couldn't say, huh? Like what? We couldn't do that like at all. You had to say, did you call me? Like it was just crazy. But like for real, like and everybody, it's funny when like we have family time or whatever because everybody does that. Like, did you call me? And I'm like, yeah, because everybody know. But it's just stuff like that. I feel like it's true. I feel like if you believe in God, you have to believe in the devil. If you believe in, you know what I mean? If you believe in angels, you have to believe in demons. And it's not like when we look at certain stuff in life and you say, I can't believe this person killed their kid, or I can't believe this person did this, or I can't believe this person did that. It's like, you can't. Come on. Like all of that ain't just like a person was smoking on something or a person was just like living a crazy life, or a person was. Sometimes it's there's other things at play. Yeah. And I think with us, we try to think so rationally, like this is why that happened. Yeah. That you like, okay, sure, that's why that happened. And I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people just like that, like not like I'm just not. So
I think that's a good thing you just said though, because being a big true crime fan, I think that's kind of worn it off too. It's like sometimes you can see just so much death and just so like you just get to a point to where it's like hard to believe certain things. I think that's where I am with the movies. That's why I like a good thriller, because when it comes to horror, it's like, man, it's really hard for me to even say a horror movie because I look at some of the things, it's like, it don't be scary no more. Like, I would really want y'all to recommend some good horror movies, like some scary shit, so I can see if it's just me. You know what I mean? Because I want to be scared when I watch a horror movie, not sit there because she's like, they're almost comical now sometimes when I look at the setups, because you can see some of the shit coming. Shit, my girl, she'll still scream like a motherfucker. I'm like, bro, like you saw that shit coming a mile away, but she's one of them people, she be fucking, shit, leave all the lights on and all that stuff. The fear is still in her, but like it's gone for me with horror movies, and I don't know why. It's sad, because that was the best genre, like growing up.
So I will tell you this: if you haven't seen it, I would watch, or if you've seen it, I will watch it again.
What is this?
What I said: watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Okay.
And then after you watch it, then Google the story. Okay. Don't do it in that order. Do it in the order I watch the movie, and then Google the stuff, and then let me know what you think. Okay. Not while you busy and you just rush it by when you have the free time to do it, and then you like. I'm telling you, it does. It makes you. Even I watch true crime, and I feel like you definitely know. Me and Tasha talk about true crime too. We've been talking about true crime. I watch true crime, and when I hear certain people, when I hear them talk about like the person that they dated or their kid or something like that, like the person who actually did the shit, right? And then they say just how like things change, or how things like it wasn't like that at first, and how it led up to certain things. And I'm like, that sounds a little suspicious. You know, like I don't just look at it like somebody went crazy and did some twisted ass shit. Like it's just not that simple.
So you think it's some demonic forces behind some of them cases? Is that what you're trying to?
You cannot say that when, like, if you got shot or had a car accident and you got saved from that situation, and you can't say, shit, angels were looking out for me. Were they? Like, you know what I mean? So if angels were looking out for you, you tell me when you go through bad shit, nothing is involved with that? You telling me when, like, they say, when you at your weakest times, or when you just mentally not there, that's when you normally are attacked in negative ways. So you can't tell me that if you say, my grandma was looking out for me, or my auntie was looking out for me, or my mom was looking out for me, you know, because this happened, it was crazy, and I got saved from that situation. Well, what is affecting you when you go through negative shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That could be grandma. Grandma could have went to hell. That was grandma's ass. The reason you got beat up.
If grandma down there, she got bigger fish to fry. She ain't worried about you. She is not worried about you and what you going through. That pussy, he be all right. I need out of here. Like, she is not worried about you. But what I am saying is, you gotta you can't do one and do the other. And I think that's what we do, rationalize as humans. We think one, we don't think the other. Like, it's kind of like when you hear, and that's if you believe in that. Like, I'm not against anyone believe, like, whatever religion, whatever your spirit leads you to believe. I'm not one to that is not my argument to take up with you. That is for you, you and whatever higher power that you believe in. That is not for me. I'm not having that argument with anybody. But I do think that if you believe in that way, that you can't just go through life thinking like great things are great and great things are happening. Like, there's a war, you know. Like, come on, people.
Good versus evil.
I'm not even the church person. Robert's a church person, and I don't get me wrong. I'm not a heathen. Of course I was. Of course I.
We are heathens though.
No.
If you don't go to church, you are heathen.
No, because I watch Pastor Brady, Bishop Brady all the time. I'm just not. I may not be in the doors, but when one or more are gathered, the two or more, whatever. When we are gathered, that's what I watch. So there.
Me and my son, we gathered, nigga. It was two of us.
No, listen, my son be like, I said, your girl was live. You doing all that hooping and hollering. You doing all that hooping and hollering. You pop. But no, seriously. So anyway, I think we went to. I think, but it is true. I mean, for me in my household, I'm not naive or neglectful to the other side. I'm not. Kind of like when people die, you be like, shh. Let's just be honest. Okay, let's say this. And I had to say it. So when people ask me, like, when you pass, do you think you go to heaven or hell, right? And I honestly answer, I don't know. Right? Because I'm not naive either. I'm not like,
right now, I don't know. No.
I'm not like, but she had a brilliant personality. You know what I mean? Like, no, I know that there's things that I'm supposed to do that I do not do. And that for my belief, I know that things that I'm supposed to do and I don't do. But I feel like, and I don't know if they do or they don't. That's not my relationship. But when people be like, R.I.P. Junior, you know, you like, I know you in heaven smiling down on us, right? Do you though? Like, how did Junior?
Yeah.
Junior was out. Junior
was out here.
Junior,
he ain't up there. Junior, he was out here.
Junior took about 10 niggas with him when he left.
Junior ain't up there.
Are we sure? And I'm not saying that to
How long do it take to repent, Robert? Because you just like get shot and hurry up and repent. Or is it like a grace period?
No, yeah, and it's like it's kind of I feel this is how I feel. I feel when you say, like, for people who repent, right? It's like, I do something wrong and then I'm gonna repent for it, right? If you knowingly in your head know you're gonna do it again, and you try to repent, that ain't how that works.
That ain't how it works.
That ain't how that works.
I thought that's how it.
But because then you playing with God. Like, that has to be in your heart to say, I'm going to do the best within my ability to be better than I was, and I'm going to do my best to not go there through those links. But most of the times when we do stuff, we be like, God, if you get me out of this one, no, you're gonna do it again. And that's worse than a person not.
I don't think you know all the time though. Because sometimes you can really try to make a change, but your circumstances don't.
But that's the difference. The difference is if you really, know in your heart when you really are going to put a foot forward and be like, I'm not, like, this is it. Mm-hmm. Not just in the moment, like, this is it. Like, that's it. But you also know when you, like, listen, like, if this don't happen, right? Like, if the pregnancy test come up negative, right? or if they drop that Fed case, what I'm gonna do? I'm
gonna start moving like this.
I'm gonna get a real job. But you know if you gonna do it or not, and that'd be my thing. I'm like, knowingly not doing something. That's and trying your best versus like I'm gonna just repent for this. Like I can always repent. Yeah. Like when I hear people say I can always repent, I'm like, yeah, you the one.
Yeah.
You the one.
You get away from your ass. Your repenting ass. That's all you do.
That fool said, I got 10 more. Like they got my numbers. I just checked this week. I had about 35. I'm down to 10. But I look at it, I feel like I'm in my 50s. So 10 more. 10 more should be. I should be cool. I'm gonna tighten up after that 5th one though. I'm gonna tighten up. Like no, nobody's giving you.
I can stop anytime, nigga.
That fool said, and for y'all who don't know, I got 3 repent coupons that was given to me. They was handing them out at the church just in case if I slip up. Boom.
I got 3 free sins out here, goddamn.
So I'm gonna make it a big one. I'm making a big one, and if I had to put 2 of them together to get the supreme package, then that's what I would do. Like that is not how that works, sir, ma'am.
Niggas will rationalize some shit though.
Well, you rationalize your wrongdoing.
If we knew how many sins we had before we would actually not be able to repent no more, if it was 11, niggas would be like, boy, niggas would play all the way down. I'm gonna save about 10.
Coming up with amazing skits. Why are we doing this? This was said. That was said. All right. Now with each lifespan, you got 12. You got 12 repent.
Yeah.
Receipts, right? So and then it's like a grid. Like this one, you got to use 2. Mm-hmm. That's big. That's big. So you be like, I would shoot you there, but I only got 2. But I only got 8 left. And I'm saving that for some other thing.
I ain't gonna waste some on your punk ass. Goddamn, I got bigger fish to fry.
Listen, for real, that's this. I got other stuff I gotta handle.
We came out with a couple of scripts on this show.
But if you would have catch me 2 years ago when I had them other extra was in there, yeah, they be making plans for you, big plans.
Like, what was that movie Justin Timberlake was in where they was giving each other time, or was it called Time?
Yeah, it was called, yeah. Was it? I think
somebody charge you. Hey, give me some more scenes, nigga, so I can take this nigga out. Goddamn.
Charge me.
He running. Hurry up, nigga. Hurry up.
Like for real. Like, but if you just think about that, if you like you said, if you did the things that you would be more cautious of because you know. But the thing is though. You don't know, which means that has to do with your character, who you are as a person. It has to do with So you are responsible for that. You know, you're responsible for how your outcome is. And
hell yeah.
That's dangerous.
And it's scary.
Yes.
It's scary as hell for me being old now and then like seeing how like people your age or even younger, like natural causes is hitting us. We ain't got to worry about getting smoked out here. So you kind of got to live. When you young and out here sinning, you be like, oh, you know what I mean? You think you got forever.
Yeah.
Like, don't get killed out here, you know what I mean? But shit. So when you get over 40, 45, 50 years old, you got to conduct yourself like you want to go to heaven every day because you could just go to sleep and not wake the fuck up. Niggas out here with sleep apnea and motherfucking fucking medical conditions they ain't even discovered yet. Like, all types of shit, bro. It's like, yeah, shit get different.
So I looked at it like this. I really did. I sat down and I had a conversation with a few people, and a few of them was like, that's crazy because that's how I looked at it too. So I took the COVID situation, right? I took out the conspiracy. Mm-hmm. I took out the doctors say. I took out all that, right? And in my head, I said, what happens if the COVID situation, right, was a test? Was a spiritual test, okay? Mm-hmm. So what happens if COVID was a spiritual test as you as a person and your character? So what happens if it was like they're telling us you could spread this, it could affect others, and you could die or they could die, right?
You can deep.
Just to see, I'm telling you, I still think this way. Just to see, and I could be wrong. Y'all can have whatever opinion you want to. I'm open for opinions. This is just mine, but I do tend to think this way. So I was like, what happened if it was just like on what type of person you are and your character, right? So what happened if you go out and you could affect people could die. What are you going to do? Are you going to care about the government taking away your right to walk freely, right? Or are you going to say, I don't really want to hurt anybody else? Like, even if I'm okay, I don't really want to hurt anybody else or make anybody else sick, especially like the elderly or kids. I don't want to get these people sick. So I am going to sacrifice these worldly things in order for me not to be a problem and possibly hurt other people, right? So you would think, where's your character in that? Are you more worried about yourself? And what you can do? Or are you more worried about his people and yourself? That's around. Which one would you?
That is fucking deep.
So I'm like, I don't know. I of course, we stayed in. Because for me, it was like that. For me, I was like, I don't want. It was more of my son and my mother. I'm like, I don't want to get them sick. I don't want to, even if I don't get sick, I don't want to possibly, or just somebody in Walmart. I don't want Esther to be out and because I looked at it like this. Older people who do not have, whether you think it's a conspiracy or not, you're right to think whatever you want to. I don't care.
Yeah.
But we saw people dying. Period. We saw people dying. And I don't care what people say. People die all the time. Yeah, but bodies were being put inside New York ice rinks because there were no room in the morgue. Like bodies were being put. They had to bring in diesels to hold ice pack to hold bodies in because there were so many. Yeah, people done died, but I don't remember. A Brooklyn shootout causing bodies to be everywhere.
Yeah,
a good 10. And I ain't trying to say that ain't important either, because it is. But I'm just saying, not 10,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I see this happening. Whether they let something go, whether it happened to the core of the Earth's crust and something happened, it's happening. The reality is that it's happening. Period. So I'm like, I see all these older people who don't have help. They don't have family. They have to get out in the morning. Because I would see people like stocking their like toilet tissue and soap and stuff, and I'm like, but are you thinking about the older people who have to get out at a certain time and they come to get this shit and they can't get it because you took it all? You took it all. I'm not trying to say you don't need it. I'm not trying to say that. But I am saying, think about the people who are the handicapped people who can only get out at a certain time, who need shit the same way you do. But since you're able-bodied, you can go in and rush and grab all this shit. But are you giving it to the people who need help? For the people who did, shout out to you. Shout out to you who took care of your neighborhood, your whatever, knew who people couldn't get it. Great. But I'm saying for the people who didn't, like, what were you thinking about? Like, in this whole situation, were you thinking about others or were you thinking about yourself? Because tests come like that. I feel like life tests come like that. Life tests come when you have the opportunity to do one thing and you do another. It tests your character, who you are as a person. Nobody can tell me just because you sit up in church and you sing songs and you read the Bible that automatically give you who are you as a person, though? That's great that you know every verse in the Bible, but demons do too. The devil did too. It doesn't matter. Like, were you thinking about others? Were you helping others? Were you there for people who you need to be there for? Did you sacrifice shit that you would really, really want to do because you know it's for the betterment of the people?
That is so deep. That could really be a movie right there. What if there was a test to determine whether you get into heaven? A lot of us would have failed. Because I don't know if I did everything right. I know I tried to stay away from people. I didn't go out and, like, overstock up on shit. Like,
I didn't, yeah.
Maybe because I didn't understand it either. Like the toilet paper, I didn't understand where they was going with that one. Like, we got enough tissue, so shit, like, what do we need to be focusing on? Food? Like, you know what I mean? And we didn't even really go stock up on that either. Like,
the crazy thing was the toilet paper was the first to go.
Wow.
It wasn't even food. It was like, and I'm not trying to say toilet paper ain't important. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah, it is important.
Because, even people who have cloth diapers, like, come on, at some point in time, you're like, do I want to wash all these or do I want, but you do what you have to do. And then plus, like, you do what you have to do, but I'm just like, the thought process of everybody, like, where was it? Where was your thought process? And that's for everybody. I'm not trying to say I did everything right either. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I went to the store and got stuff. Like, I didn't stock up on shit. I didn't really stock up on anything. I got what I could. I also helped people who I knew couldn't get out, couldn't go to the store, like who just couldn't do it. And I'm
so if you stocked up on drugs and alcohol, do that make you a bad person? I just want to know. So I'm asking for myself.
That fool said, if you gonna take me.
When I go to hell, I was just trying to medicate myself. I didn't know what was going on.
That fool said, I should have drank that last drink because I knew it was gonna be hot down here. and now this bourbon got me all up in here. However, that ice cream I had, I'm pretty cool. No, I do. I don't think that there was a like robot like do everything right. I think like it is just your thought process, and we could rationalize our own thought process, but who truly knows what was in your head? I didn't even ask when we had this conversation when I had with other people. I didn't even ask what they did or how they thought, because that's not the point. The point is what was really inside your head.
I keep it real.
Yeah, but
drugs and alcohol, baby. That's all I want to got. I didn't know if the world was in it. I just knew that I wanted to be alright, in the house.
But the fact of saying that, like, I'm in the house and I'm not infecting anyone else, or I'm not, because my whole thing is I always had this picture of like just elderly people and kids in my head, and me messing up or being around them and getting them sick, and I'm like, damn, I'm the cause of someone. And I'm not trying to say that couldn't have happened. That could have, I don't know, that could have happened at one of my CVS runs or my Walmart runs or my, you know what I mean, that could have happened. But knowingly, I did not want to be that type of person. So if I'm like, if I gotta stay in this house with this kid breakdancing in the kitchen at 5 o'clock in the morning with a Newport, like, shit, then I just have to do what I have to do. But that's not a judgment on anybody. Like I said, that is not my argument. I'm not gonna argue or debate anything with anybody on how they feel religiously, on how they feel about COVID, how they feel about anything, whatever rocks your boat is whatever rocks your boat. I know there's consequences and repercussions for everything that we all do, including myself. And that's not my fight. I got enough shit on my plate to worry about than to worry about what somebody else does. It was just something that I thought about, something that crossed my mind as a human being. I think the older I get, the more I start thinking about just that as a whole, how my actions are reactions. Like I do. So that's just my thing. That's not for anybody to feel bad about or no one to argue about or nothing to, if you confident in your choice of whatever you made, that's all that matters. There's no need to argue, I guess. You know?
Yeah, because it was I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of scary too though. Because like you watch all these movies, and I didn't watch the plague movies everybody started mentioning when the shit came.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because I'm as far as movies like plague movies and shit like that, never was into those. So I couldn't get those references, but I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was never in my lifetime that I think it would be a time to where, like, in a free society, everything gets shut down and stuff like that. That shit was just weird. Like, I didn't know where to go with it. So I was just looking at other people and how they was dealing with it at the time, buying up everything. Like, I didn't really understand. So it was like, it's the craziest time of my life. I'm just trying to figure out, do I work? Do I go to the store? Like, what the fuck do I do? Like, for the first time in my life, I know what the hell I was going to do. Like, nothing was normal anymore.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I ain't going to work. So, wait a minute. You could die just by being around people? It was like, that was the scariest time ever.
So, I mean, like, just think about it, too. And that was for us. But this world has been through so many plagues and so many, you know what I mean? Just crazy stuff happening. So, I think for us, being the most privileged out of all of those situations due to our ability to do certain things. And then we had more access to shit. Like we had internet, that didn't go out. Now if the internet went out, niggas was gonna be sick.
Yeah.
But we had internet, We had phones. We had TV. You got streaming apps. Do you know what they would have done? You know what people did with with the Black Plague? You know what people did with nothing? Like they was playing
nothing.
They was playing like tic-tac-toe and you know
ran out of paper, goddammit.
That's what said. Get the right on the boards. Right on the boards on the floor. Like, you know what I mean? Like people really had to, we were really privileged beyond compare.
Yeah.
And I know people saying, well, those are things that we deserve. Do we though? Do we really? Like, how can we feel entitled to certain shit, even if we pay for it? Like, this world is not ours. I don't know if you guys noticed, but everybody got a due date when they up out of here. Like, Earth is not forever. Whether you like it, you recommend it 10 stars, doesn't matter. Earth is not forever. You are going to die. We are all going to die. This is just temporary. So it's not like you saying, well, I deserve to do this, or I should do this, or I should do that. No, this is borrowed time. This is borrowed time. You should make the best of your time by any means necessary, sure. But you also got to be careful because there's you got to go somewhere afterwards. Wherever you believe, whether you think you just going in the dark or whatever, or you going to go you going to go meet a bunch of virgins. Whatever you feel, and I'm not saying that in
what the fuck?
And I'm not saying
I want to go there.
And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. Religiously, they do, but I'm not saying that in to disrespect anybody. I'm just saying whatever you believe in is what you believe in, but you gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, and that's the scary part. But when I was younger, I used to be a weird ass kid when it come to that shit. I can remember nights that I would like almost cry myself to sleep because thinking about one day that I would die. Yeah. And I'm like, and what made it weird, it's like, motherfucker, you 6, and nigga, not now, nigga, it's gonna be a long time, but it's just like, I don't know, I guess it hit me early, just that fact. Because that's a heavy fact when you think about it.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? That's heavy as fuck.
It's overwhelming, especially when you're younger and you thinking about like the way. You know? like I don't think, like, even now, I can honestly say this. I can honestly say this from the bottom of my heart. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm not gonna be the one to be like, I'm gonna be kicking it up ahead. I don't. I know I fail at certain things. I know certain things I do follow. I know I fail at certain things. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I hope, of course, the better, as we all do, but I just don't know. And I try to get better every day, do something better, even just with the way I'm thinking now. Like, I just try to do better one day at a time. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the only thing that really, really scares me is, like, how. Of course, everybody will kind of want to know how. Everybody, like, you want to know or you don't want to know. Like, you don't want to know because then if you know, you got to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to get hit in the head with a hammer. Yeah. Like, but I just don't know when, but I got to watch out. Stay
away from niggas with hammers.
You know what I'm talking about? Listen, bodybuilder, get away from me. No hammers in this house. Everybody, like, you know what I mean? Like, you had to.
Have a sign downstairs, no hammers.
That's what I'm saying.
You can bring guns, but no hammers in.
Liz, you tell the Spectrum man, don't bring no damn hammer up here when you fix my TV. Keep that tool belt apart. You look crazy anyway. Use my tools up here. Shit, you had the plastic hammers and shit. Probably had the play school shit from my sons. Talking about use this work.
Oh my god!
But no, you just, it's just that you never, you don't know. The only thing that scares me is me leaving before my son is old enough to take care of himself.
Yeah.
Like, because of who's going to take care of him. And it's not like I don't already have that plan, but it's like, it's different when it's love from your parent, you know? Like, I don't care. It's different when it's love from, like, you may do something different from me, or he may need something in me, or he may need, you know what I mean? And me not being able to prepare him. So that part scares me, like, leaving him unprepared. And then just the how. It's kind of like, shoot, but it doesn't. But I've come to the terms that this isn't forever. This isn't forever. So once you keep coming to that terms, like, I'm going to enjoy life. Like, people say that all the time. Like, well, you only live once, but you don't really understand that until you really say, this is not for a long time. I even tell my kid that, and he's 6. And he starts to ask questions like, can we go together? Are we going together? Do we get to see each other? Because he's had to deal with a lot of that lately. You know what I mean? So he's like, do we go together? Do we Do we see each other? Well, I don't want you to leave me, or I don't want to like leave. So I'm like, let me just go ahead and offer son so we can ride out the sunset. But no, and I had to have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
But to also keep him understanding this is why you should enjoy people and the time you have and try to be good to people, because this for us is a gift and it's temporary, and then we go somewhere else better, you know.
Yeah.
And I haven't did the hell talk with him yet. I was thinking about that shit. Talking about, you don't pick up your room, like hit a lighter. What's up? Shit, you ain't gonna do that math homework. You gonna be like, why you have a lighter every time you? Shit, you in the store acting up? No, please don't do that. But no,
I'm about to say it's actually a good training, but man, I'm just like you. I think when it comes with age, like. With death, the things you're scared of change, because just the thought of death when you're young is just scary.
Yeah.
But when you're older and you got responsibilities, you got aunts and uncles and children and, you know what I mean, people to take care of, you just don't want to leave. You feel like you're not ready. That's what scares you.
Yeah.
When I used to wonder, when I would ask older people, like, why aren't they, like, afraid to die?
Yeah.
I never could relate when I was younger.
Yeah.
But now, when you get older, it was like, man, somebody's 70 years old. They done lost more people that they knew. I mean, it's way more people gone that are here. And now they comfortable with, like, oh, nigga, if I didn't have you and your mama in there, goddamn it, she could take me to the king now. I'm ready. You know what I mean? And I didn't understand that mindset until I got older. It's like, now what scares me is dying before I'm done doing what the hell I'm supposed to be here doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid to, like, when I watch a horror movie, when I walk in my living room, I'm not afraid of some fucking, like, entity snatching my fucking head off and shit. Like, those things don't scare me. But
you know, I don't worry about the entity with me. I do worry about it with my kid. You know, I worry about that because kids are so, like, when you see somebody, you be like, my kid hanging around the wrong kid. I look at it more than that. I don't look at people like just as people. I look at people like, you could be, you know what I mean? Like, you could. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I look at things differently. So I just be like, just don't have that mind to where you're open to way too much. Like, you know, where you naive and you're just like, yeah, bro, come on in. Like, I just, so yeah.
Yeah, because some kids, like, that's trust. It's not like they just, man, I don't know. Yeah, you can instill it in the child, but those child instincts, you gotta,
Very much so. But yeah. So that's my deep conversation talk.
That was good.
Yes.
That was good. It was a good episode. We always have a good episode when Cortez ain't here.
Wait, you know what? That's just Cortez, as you guys have noticed. He doesn't really enjoy the really deep stuff. I think some stuff is like too deep for him. Like, he's willing to go like 3 feet. If we hit 6, Cortez be like, shit, I'm out. But he'll tell you that too. He said that before, like, y'all be going too deep.
When the waves come up to Cortez's knees, he's out.
That's what said, ha!
Get too deep.
That's what said, where's the lifeboat? Like, no, you okay. You just stand up. Just stand up. So yeah, but we are happy that you guys tuned in and watched us. We appreciate it. Even though our counterpart is gone, we're going to have a stick person up for one of us whenever we gone. Go ahead and try to like and subscribe to our page, YouTube. Share it, comment, like it. We're on Facebook. Mm-hmm. We're on Spotify. Mm-hmm. We're on IG. Yep. Shout out to him because I wouldn't know.
We on all that shit.
We on everything. Just search for Urban Absurdity. Then you should be able to find us. And then, you know, just tell us what you like. Tell us what you would like us to talk about. Mm-hmm. Tell us if you would like to have T-shirts of Who's Robert. Tell us just whatever you want from us. Just let us know, and we'll holler at you later. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Text your friends right now. Urban Absurdity.
Later.